Yeah, because in our IVF journey, people were like, "What? Like, what do you mean? Like, well, who's the baby daddy? Who did it? And how y'all doing this?" I'm like, I know y'all seen it. Like, I know y'all are not back in 1990 where
No, just tell them don't even worry.
Right, just and follow your heart and true reality. Because if you want to have children, have children. If you want to, like build your house with your girlfriend. If you want to move to the other side of the world, you just do whatever makes you happy because it starts with yourself.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley, and I'm so happy you came by. The Queerly Blax Show aims to normalize the everyday existence of Black LGBTQIA+ individuals through an interview-style series with regular folks like you and me. So every week, a new guest shares their story and unique perspective on their existence as an LGBTQIA+ individual. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe, download, set your reminders to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to another episode of the Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley. I'm here with some special guests today. We got Krystle and Scarlet, aka Dusty and Callie, in the building. Y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves to the people.
What's up? So I am Krystle, aka Dusty.
And I'm Scarlet, aka Callie.
Yeah. Nice. How'd y'all get those nicknames?
Well, Dusty, that goes all the way back from high school. I was trying not to curse a lot, and I would say Dusty, and everybody started calling me Dusty, and it just kept going from there.
And I just grew up with it. I don't know where my family got it from, but since I was little, we all had a nickname for, I guess all the cousins did from the aunties. So mine was Callie, and it just forever a Callie thing.
Got it. And where y'all from originally?
I'm from Chicago, Chi-Town.
I'm Honduran.
Okay, nice. When did you come to the States?
Yeah, when I was 3 years old. So I basically grew up here, but I mean, nationality, I am Honduran.
Nice. And y'all from Houston, right? Y'all live in Houston?
Yes.
Cool. H-Town. Nice. All right. Well, let's go back a little bit, and I gotta get y'all. I gotta get y'all coming out stories. So who wants to start? Well, first, before you answer the coming out story, talk about the first time you knew that you like girls.
Oh goodness. For me, I was in kindergarten and I had a crush on a girl. I mean, I just knew I liked her and she was cute, and yeah. So it was way back when.
I grew up with like a little tomboy. Grew up playing with my cousins. I didn't have any, like, I guess, girl cousins to play with, and I guess they would always talk about girls, and they would be like, "Oh, she's hot," and this and that. And I guess through time when I realized that I guess I like girls too. So I was like 12, and I used to be like, "Oh, she's so pretty," But in my mind, like I never came out to basically a couple years ago, really. Even though some of my friends and family did know it through like all my life, they just knew, but I never confirmed to them that, because in my type of family and my background, that like they would not accept you, like you would be like downed out somewhere else, and it's like took my family, my parents a little while to accept me now, but now everybody's okay with it. I mean, of course, if I'm okay with it, they got to be okay with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I came out I guess officially I got outed in high school. One of my girlfriends at the time, she like wrote a note, and then her mom found it, and it was a big thing. And I was like, at first I was like, no, I'm not gay. I don't know what she's talking about.
Was it one of them like letters that's like, man, you so fine, you the most beautiful girl? Like it was like clear that she was like,
yeah, it was
a game on her.
Yeah, it was no hiding. My mom was just like, she was like, it's okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm gay.
Okay, we can accept this. Nice. So I know y'all talk about being, in an interracial relationship. Callie, you're Honduran, and Dusty, you are.
Well, my family's from Jamaica, so I guess I'm Jamaican, but I grew up in Chicago.
Okay. How's that been, like, as far as y'all's, relationship? How's that played a role in your relationship?
Well, family-wise, I'm on my side of the family. It was pretty cool, they don't trip about stuff like that. How about you?
Well, for me, it's like my parents, for one, didn't ever want me to be with a different color skin person. They always wanted me to be with Hispanic, like you, like that's all they saw. They always match you with like who your family is. Like I guess the color, the race, the background, all that. So, I they knew a long time ago that I wasn't like into my own race or anything like that. So even then, when we did get together and start, she came around like a friend for a
Of
long
course, yeah. It's my friend. It's my
Yeah.
special friend.
And so my parents kind of like started like putting one and one together, and they started like getting mad at her or like getting mad at me for stuff. And they're like, we know, but I would have never tell them. So they did take it. We had a little rough patch mostly with my mom. She was the one who took it a little harder through, the whole way. But now, she's supportive and, loving and stuff towards both of us, and accepting of it. But it is hard, especially when you come from families who don't believe in, for one, being with a different color person, and then two, not being with the same sex. Like for them, it's like, okay, are you kidding me?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Like double negative. Like, really? Like we couldn't pick one, right? Like you had to bring both into the situation. But love is love. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? We don't pick the color. We don't pick, it's just who you love is who you love. So it's all good. So let's talk about how y'all met. How'd y'all meet?
This is everybody's favorite story.
So I'm a teacher. I teach physical education at the elementary level, and one of the jobs after school, you got to put the kids in a car. And one day, she comes to pick up her kiddo.
You putting the kid in the car, and you put yourself in the back seat too, huh?
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh, this mom is beautiful, but that's just mom. So I would see her years and years and years, and I was just like, I would always tell, like, man, you have your discussions at lunch with your coworkers, like, yeah, it's so fine, mama, always, but yeah, that's how we met, through that way. But we didn't start talking. It was just a secret crush that I had for the longest time.
But somehow, my daughter knew she liked me.
I don't know how.
Because she would say, "Mom, Coach Harvey said hi," or "Mom, Coach Harvey," and like, backflash. I have two kids already. Mm-hmm. So which is the oldest? She's the 11-year-old. So because I don't know if you knew that. Mm-hmm. And so that's how she would just come in the car, and she was little. She was like in kinder, and she'd be like, "Coach Harvey said hi," and then Coach Harvey is, and then like sometimes I would look, and I would always go. She would not ever look at me in the face, like she would have never just give me that look. She just
like, "Hey, I see you."
But the kid knew, so it's like it's weird to say, but it's like 5 years later we started talking. Basically, after we kind of knew, because I would always be at the school too, so they would see me and I would see her frequently. And then it was like a manifestation thing. Like I always say, like I think she manifested so much that she liked me, or that she wanted something. Yeah. Like how is it that 5 years later, my daughter is back at that school, and now it's like, we end up getting into a relationship.
Mm-hmm. So what was this, a parent-teacher conference or something?
Well, so actually I was randomly talking about it. Me and a couple of my coworkers, we were just talking about hot moms, and I was like, no, nobody compares to Jocelyn's mom. And then my coworker, she was like, oh, I followed her on Instagram. I was like, what? I was like, let me get her Instagram. I'm just gonna go over there, peep pictures,
Mm-hmm.
Be a little creeper. And then I think I liked something. I might have commented, and she ended up sending me a friend request, and I was like, what? And she had like 40,000 followers. I was like, no way she's gonna see,
that you commented,
yeah. And I was shook, when she hit me with that friend request, and yeah, we just started talking from there. So really, she initiated things, really.
So Kelly, you slid in the DMs?
Well, I saw I saw like you said Coach Harvey, and I was like, so I stared at the name for a little while when I saw the comment because I was like, wait, is this her? Like, is this from like? And it didn't dawn like I couldn't tell from her profile picture either because she looked different. I'm so used to just shorts and a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I've always seen her in a cap. So for me, like the picture she had, I couldn't recognize her if that was her. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna click because I run my business off of social media, so I pay attention to who comments or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When I clicked on her profile, I was like, okay, I don't know who it is, but I was like, I really, really think that's her because I'm like, it says Coach Harvey. So I friend requested her, and then I left a comment on her picture too.
She was like, "Oh, you have the most beautiful smile."
She does.
That's it. That's it right there. That's it. You in there after that.
Yeah.
That's so cute. So what happened? So then now fast forward. So that's 5 years of you having a crush. So then what happens when you tell your daughter that you guys are dating?
I mean, at first we didn't tell her right away. I was just
good.
you know. But I mean, she wasn't like.
She probably thought that was so cool. She was like, the teacher's at my house. Like,
yeah.
It was like that because she ended up going to a different school, so she wasn't at my school for a while. But I would see her because the school she went to was literally right next door. So like all my old students, they would like come to the gate, like, "Hey, Coach Harvey," and she just always was like one of my favorites and just was cool. And she would always like speak to me. And yeah, I don't think she was really
I think
mad about it. I think she was cool. She was just like,
yeah.
I think it helped. I think it helped because she already liked me, you know.
Yeah, that would have sucked if she didn't like you, and then you like with her mom. That
I probably would.
Yeah, like I'm all about if the kids, are okay, then I'm okay. If not,
yeah.
So
absolutely.
I mean, both of them did. Even though the other one was really, really little at the time, they both reacted really good. I guess because we started coming around like friends and just hanging out and taking the kids because it was COVID time, so it wasn't much we could do other than hanging out at each other's houses, or she would come to my business and hang out with us there, or little stuff like that. That was about all we can do. Because right in the middle, right when COVID started, basically, and the whole world shut down, so it was like there wasn't a lot to do other than hang out here or hang out over there. So that's what we would do: hang out, watch TV, play with the kids, or little stuff like that. So she started like she was comfortable with her already. So when we spoke to her and it was like, hey, she was like, hey, I want to date your mom. And then I told her, hey, so we like each other. We're going to start dating. She was just like, okay. Like, yeah. Like, okay. Like, okay. I don't know what to tell you, but okay.
Right. Nice. So now you are pregnant.
Yes.
Talk about that. Talk about that journey. Just, deciding to have another baby, and you guys did IVF, right? So just talk about that journey.
So she we always talked since the beginning that we started talking that she wanted to have a baby, and eventually she wanted to get her pregnant on her own, and go through that process and stuff. And as we started talking more and more, like I always knew I'm like I wanted to carry another baby or have a baby together or whatnot. So since the beginning we pretty much knew we were going to. We just never made it like a time frame when we would just say, okay, we're gonna do this and this, and then we're gonna have a baby. And then we went through some steps last year where we're just like, okay, well, we're gonna purchase a house. It was either purchase a house or have a baby, and then our plans,
they cost about the same.
Yeah. So ended up happening too where we were like, okay, well, we have to do these things for our house. So instead of like trying to figure out like keeping the money or whatever, now that let's just do one process instead of like holding off on both and then eventually trying to figure out when we're going to do it all. We're just like, hey, let's just do the baby, and then we'll figure out the house situation the following year, which is this year. And that's basically how we came up with just we went to the doctor's office and just
we went to the doctor because I'm older and I was like getting nervous. I'm not that old, but I was just like, I don't know, I don't want to push it because they say like 35. I'm 32, and I was like, let's just go see like the options, like of how to store my eggs, just in case. So we went, talked to the doctors, and I don't know. I guess like in that moment, we were just like, let's just do it. Let's start now.
So you
And
guys did reciprocal IVF.
yes,
Right.
yeah. So my egg, we picked the donor, fertilized it,
And then
transferred to her. Yeah.
Mm. So how was the process for you guys picking a donor? What was some of the things that you talked about that were like important as far as picking a donor?
Well, we wanted someone with Hispanic background so that it could be like a mixture. Um, and of course, we wanted healthy genes. They show you the family history, the donor's history. Excuse me. So of course we want healthy, and then after that, after we found people based off who's the healthiest, then we start looking into like, all right, eye color, height, their build, stuff like that. But I mean, I would say it was kind of hard because it was just so many.
and then the ones that we were wanting, like they were like, as soon as they'll come on, they were off. We're like,
Yeah, they would
we're
go,
waiting,
they would
you
go,
know.
Yeah.
you know, but it was a fun process also just because it was on we shopping. It's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
buying a baby daddy.
Yeah, you
Interesting.
pick exactly what you want.
Yeah, exactly. With the hopes that everything checks out, because it is, it's kind of crazy going through the process. My wife and I went through the same process. We not IVF, we went through IUI, but um when you're like looking at all these things and you're like, man, you realize like more about your donor than people know about their baby daddy. Like
Right.
from a hit from a background standpoint, like because you're basically getting matched like with like a person who's compatible with you from a health perspective. Like, you can select all the other stuff that's important to you, right? Like the height and the what they look like. But like from a health perspective, it's kind of cool to know like that you're compatible with the person, right? Because you learn so much about yourself. You go through all this genetic screening, and then like your donor, same thing. So it's pretty interesting that so much about, like, because we'll talk to people particularly like our straight friends who have no idea that like all this happens like in the background. Like you're like, yeah, no, like you can't even have a child. Like your doctor will literally not even let you have a baby with somebody who's not compatible with you from a health perspective. So it's a very extensive journey, inexpensive journey too. um yeah. So Dusty, do you want to carry it off?
I told her I would if because I'm down for another one in the future possibly, because we still got some eggs,
Yeah.
embryos left. So but I told her I'm down, um, but I don't know how she doesn't really agree.
You said no, you don't want to see that.
It's not even that. For me, it's more of the actual child being here. I feel
Yeah.
like life is not the same anymore. It's not as easy as it used to be. For me, it's not about like having another child. It's more about financially, about life itself, about how it is to put your kids to school now, about like she doesn't have family here. I only have my mom and my sister truly that can really help, other than a couple of friends. But you can't depend on friends like your family, right?
Yeah.
So like we don't have that background here. So for me, it's like I work from home, so thankfully we have that option. But if we didn't, then and then right now we're gonna have 203.
Yeah.
So also it's like what am I gonna do in another couple years? Do it again? Like we're gonna go through another section of 203 again. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like when is it gonna fit the right schedule? And it's like at that point, I don't want to be us to be having kids at almost 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like our kids are grown right now. Like the two that we have, they're just so on their own most of the time. Like they're in the house just hanging out, watching TV, doing their own thing. It's like now we're going to have another one, and we also have to think about everything that's coming in the future because everything is changing. It's not insurance is expensive, food's expensive, like and I want to be able to have an abundant life, like still be able to provide for our kids, have things for our kids, and not be so limited like my family was. We
Yeah.
like 1 month one got shoes, and maybe the next one, another one of us got shoes, and that sucked. Like I
Yeah.
hated to be like the one that was always the last one to get a new pair of shoes for school, or we couldn't afford everything all the time. So I don't want to have that life. And I feel like us putting ourselves through having more kids is like more of that gonna happen, or could happen. Or even though if we say like, oh, it's not going to, you don't know what life has and stuff. What if she can't work in a couple of years because something happened, or I can't work, so I think about all these things. That's why I am more of like, I don't want us to have no more. Like, we have one, of our own. Like, we have two other amazing, we have three amazing kids pretty much, that
Yeah.
we're together, and that we're teaching. She's also an amazing mom to them. They love her to death, So, like, I just think that because of all that is the reason why I
Yeah.
choose.
No, that makes sense. Breaking those generational curses and trying to provide something different. I think we all have our own level of that. So no, that's definitely commendable, and I think more people should think about that. So you guys just recently had your baby shower. Kelly obviously experiencing going through infancy with three kids. Talk about some of the important things about baby showers. Like, as far as people giving you gifts, like respecting your registries, not buying you what they want to buy you versus what you need. Talk about that from your experience.
I mean, I'm pretty much grateful for whatever. So I appreciate all the gifts we got. Now, would I prefer them sticking to the registry? Of course, because we put it on there because we need it. But everything that we got is very helpful, so I'm not gonna be mad about it. But yeah, it's so much. Like, even just making the registry, like my first time doing this, I was like, "Can you just do it?" Because I'm like, "This is overwhelming." Like, I don't
So
know.
many things.
Yeah, because in my mind, when I'm like thinking about like clothes and stuff, then she puts on there uh like breast pads or something. I'm like, I'm not thinking about that. So it's good that she's been through it and was able to help, because I was overwhelmed. I was like, I would just slide her the iPad, like, here you go, got this.
But I wanted her to do a lot of it. Like the baby shower, a couple of my friends asked me, why was I going all out about it? Or, but in true honesty, like the reason why I did it, the way I did, and she doesn't realize it maybe, is more because I wanted her to have the experience, the experience of what it feels about it all, like, through to go through everything. Like, she even says sometimes, like, I wish a baby kicked me. I want to feel the kicks. I'm like, yeah, do, but I said it's harder than you think. Like, it's hard to, it's really hard to go through pregnancy. It's really hard to, like sometimes that, you just manage to do it all, especially when me having kids, like I've managed to can do so much more than half of the women that have kids probably for the first time do. But like going through the registry, planning the baby shower, like I wanted her to do some of the stuff more because I wanted her to feel that experience of not saying, oh, later on, oh, well, I never did that, or I never, because we had to plan our own baby shower, we had our own stuff. And so for me, it was like, okay, like, I don't care to have a big baby shower, but I wanted one just for her to have that experience of all her friends being there, playing games and having this like fun environment of like just feeling love. And it's not even for us, it's for the baby, like
Yeah.
that's how you know when your real ones come around, or or who shows that real love. And that's what I wanted her to experience of it all. Even though, let me tell you, the past 2 weeks have been hectic for me, like super crazy.
Yes.
I feel like I've been like, she goes to work, so I'm at home, so I have the ability to run errands, to do this, to do that. So they have been crazy, but I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I feel like
It was definitely worth it because it came out really nice. I was like, oh, so this is why you wanted that big balloon thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Gotta celebrate. Gotta celebrate the baby, right?
yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
what's up.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm super excited for y'all. Like, I congratulations, and it's just amazing, bringing life into the world. So, talk about your YouTube channel, like just what you guys talk about over there, topics, and how you got started.
so we were just on, we're on TikTok a lot, and I was like, we should do a YouTube channel so we could talk more about, the IVF process, just about our life in general, because kind of like what you're doing. We want people to see a different side of us. You know, we're normal. We got kids. We gotta, you know, take the kids to school. We gotta go trick or treating. Just everyday things. Like we might be two women, but we are very normal. So we just want to show people that, and you know, just our our family life. You know.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. That's dope. All right. Well, I got two more questions for you. First one is, if you had a theme song for your life, what would it be? Each of y'all. Each of y'all.
Oh, me.
A theme song. Mm. I would say Bob Marley. Don't worry,
That's a
because I'm
vibe.
like chill, and it's like, you know, you just everything's gonna
That
be
that match your vibe too.
She's the
everything.
most
Yeah,
Super chill. Like, we got it. It's good. Every little thing's gonna be all right. We good.
and she's the most patient person ever. Like I don't know where she finds so much patience from, but I have like probably like 5% of her patience. I mean, it's rubbing off to me, but it's definitely been a journey to have patience because she can tell you like I'm real quick. I'm like, we gotta go, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. She's like, relax. Like, is it going somewhere? Is it leaving you? Is the car like gonna take off without you?
Is the car gonna take off without you?
That's her, and I'm just more of like I'm really go 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 go.
Mm-hmm.
I like to get this done, and I don't, if I say in the next 2 hours I need all this done, I want it all done so that the next 5 hours I can just do
That's
nothing.
mom mode.
Yeah, like I'm that one, and so we have two different personalities in that point. So that's probably something for her. I honestly do not know. I'm really, really, really bad at music and really bad at songs. And like right now, I feel like I can think about songs and like all of them don't sound like nothing in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But she probably can describe me more than
she probably would do like a fast paced Spanish song.
Mm-hmm.
Song, yeah, cause she be on the go moving and just on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if y'all had advice for somebody going through any part of your journey, whether it's being in an interracial relationship, going through IVF, just being queer in general, what would it be?
I want to say about the coming out situation more because I feel like that's something I can really express myself about because we had two different versions of it. Stop being scared. Like, just do it. If you feel like another woman or another man's gonna make you happy, nobody. If you don't learn how to accept yourself first, or period, nobody's gonna accept you the way that you want to be accepted. And I think that that was something that held me back for so many years from realizing what I wanted for real, since because I knew since 12, 13, when I had my only little girlfriend type thing, that I wanted it, but because of my fears, my family talking crazy to me, or telling me names, or telling me they wouldn't love me, because of all these things, I was so afraid. But if you, no matter what age you are, if you love yourself that way, love yourself first, and then people are gonna come around to love you, because that's just where it starts from yourself. And then just allow people to say whatever they want. Eventually they're gonna come around, and if they choose not to come around, then they're not meant to be in your life.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I would just say, just do you, like she said, like for all aspects, like just do what makes you happy. You want to do IVF, do it. You want to date girls, do it. Like, don't worry about other people's opinions. Just, you have to be happy. That's all I would say. Just do you.
Yeah, because in our IVF journey, people are like, "What? Like, what do you mean? Like, well, who's the baby daddy? Who did it? And how y'all doing this?" I'm like, I know y'all seen it. Like, I know y'all are not back in 1990 where
No, just tell them, don't even worry.
Right, just
Mm-hmm.
and follow your heart and true reality. Because if you want to have children, have children. If you want to, like build your house with your girlfriend. If you want to move to the other side of the world, you just do whatever makes you happy, because it starts with yourself, and then people start to come around, those that will love you like that, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to walk out your life and not come back. And that's what happened to me. Like, I've lost more friends than, but I all I know is that they were not my real friends, because the ones that have accepted me through the journey, which is a handful of them, are still right next to me, and it's just meant to be, and God's never gonna leave, people in your life that are not meant to be.
Absolutely. And you learn that you don't want them people around you anyway.
Right.
Because you ain't got no time for that. You got kids, you got school, you got whatever you got going on. You don't need them people around you anyway. You would rather have 2 or 3 solid people in your life than to have 20 people just to say you got 20 people. Like, you ain't got time to be managing all that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with you. Definitely. Awesome. Well, tell the people where they can find y'all.
All right, so our TikTok, Instagram, Dusty and Callie, and also on our YouTube channel.
All of it is Dusty.and.Callie.
Yeah.
So for all of them,
all of them, okay.
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, yeah.
Got you.
There, you guys. We'll keep sharing YouTube videos and sharing a little bit about our life. Where we're trying to get there again to where it's starting to pick up. We do it more often because we started but with the baby almost arriving here and so much going on at the same time, it's just been hectic. But we'll definitely try to update more and just inspire people, because that's really what we want, is inspire people not to be scared of this journey and to share it so that others can. There's going to be a lot of judgment, a lot of craziness that happens in between it, like comments and stuff, but people just have to learn, and we have to accept ourselves like that, and then allow us to share with others so they don't be afraid too, because society is crazy nowadays. People are committing suicide and doing all kinds of stuff because people are not being supportive. So as long as they can feel maybe someone online can be supportive of them and share a little bit about them, it'll inspire them to do the same.
Absolutely. Well, I'm thankful for y'all. I definitely appreciate what y'all are doing. Keep sharing. Keep, just, being as transparent as you can be. I think definitely 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or all the things that y'all are sharing are going to definitely help somebody. So definitely keep doing it. I'm thankful for y'all. And yeah, man. So y'all already know, man, this is another episode of the Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley. I'll catch y'all on the next one.